And let's move to business-related story where we understand that a high court in the United Kingdom has ordered Process and Industrial Development Limited to pay Nigeria a sum of 20 million euros in damages and compensation within the next 28 days. The order followed the victory of Nigeria in an appeal against the $11 billion arbitration award in October of 2023. The Business and Property Courts of England and Wales, London, had in a judgment delivered on October 23 by Justice Robert Noahs, quashed arbitration order on Nigeria to pay a total of $6.6 billion as damages, accruing from March 2013, with interest rate of 7%, which amounts to $11 billion in 2017. The court had held that the award to P&ID was fraudulent and violated the English Arbitration Act of 1996. And joining me to talk about this is an economist and energy analyst, Gbolahun Olojede. Good morning, Gbolahun. Glad to have you join me.
Yeah, good morning. Nice to be on the program.
Yeah, now let's get your perspective as to how, first of all, we got to this point, and also your reaction to this victory.
Well, maybe I would rather start from my reaction to the victory. I think is joy all the way. I had been scared while this court processes lasted. What will happen to Nigeria if we did not win that case? Where are we going to find 11 billion US dollars? That could have literally bankrupt the nation. So I am delighted as a citizen that we were able to get past that problem. How did we get there? We got there by virtue of our very corrupt ways. In the first instance, that institution, that organization, it's not an organization we should have had anything to do with in the first instance. It appears as if even the business was set up just to defraud Nigeria. But you cannot defraud Nigeria without the collaboration and involvement of some Nigerians themselves. And that was what happened. So I'm delighted that we finally got past that serious problem that could have bankrupted us as a nation.
But then, Gbolahun, we have seen some commentaries that it might not just be over, as there is still an option of appeal for P&ID, saying that the victory of Nigeria, which we got in the London court, may not be final. What do you say to that?
The court did not make room for an appeal. The court said, because it was P&ID that was looking for a window for appeal. But from what I read, the position of the court was that you can't take this back to arbitration. And the reason was simple. The reason was that it was a case based on fraud. And once you don't have a foundation in law, you cannot build on a zero foundation. That is the law. So the court was clear that the contract in itself was obtained by fraud, which means that the foundation is fraud. Everything else that you built upon fraud will be fraud. As simple as that. So I believe from what I have read that it's a close case. They should go and find the $20 billion fine and pay us.
Now, moving forward, what impact may this ruling, for instance, have on relationship between Nigeria and international corporations when it comes to business dealings and, of course, legal disputes?
I think it is clear. The implication is that, for me, it means Nigeria will be willing to fight till the very end against institutions that are here in Nigeria to defraud us. But more than that, or way beyond that, is what we do in-house to ensure that institutions like P&ID will not be able to establish themselves in Nigeria or get contracts in Nigeria. And it is very simple. If there are no citizens collaborating with them to defraud their own nation, it wouldn't have happened. That P&ID it presents as an institution that was set up deliberately to come and defraud us. And they almost successfully did it because they got support from our own people. So let's fight this kind of situation from in-house and ensure that we won't find ourselves here because our citizens will not collaborate with external organizations to come and defraud us as a nation.
What do you think this would be in terms of significance of this ruling when it comes to, for instance, upholding legal standards and also preventing fraudulent claims in the international business setting?
I'm so delighted with the way the British court dealt with this matter. There were no sentiment. They were able to dig deep into the case, the matter in itself, from its roots, and establish that right from even the contract itself, it was obtained by fraud. So the UK court have delivered justice. What it might eventually do is that it probably will consolidate people's confidence in the UK court as far as arbitration and international contract is concerned. Most of those dealings that involve international organizations, the location for arbitration or the arbitration clause usually dictates a foreign country. I think the commonest one still remains the UK. So I think it's a boost for the UK. So you're going to see more organizations who are entering into similar international arbitration issue or international contract, setting the UK as the place for resolution of arbitral issues.
Well, thank you so much for your time on the news. Gbolahun Olojede, development economist and energy analyst. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.